You wake up thirsty. You turn a handle and clean water pours out instantly. That motion took you 3 seconds. For an ancient Roman, it could take 3 hours. But the real answer is far stranger than life was harder back then. Rome had plumbing. Rome had baths, medicine, and law courts. And you still would not survive a single week there. Not because Rome lacked comfort, because your body was never built for that world, even though that world built the one you live in now. Start with the smell. Sewage ran through crowded streets. Animals were slaughtered in public view. Your nose, tuned by soap and ventilation, would revolt within minutes. Could you even eat breakfast in a place like that? Now think about the water. Historian Mary Beard has described how Roman water traveled through lead pipes before reaching wealthy homes, and lead does not stay put. It leaches, slowly, into everything it touches. Romans did not know this. You do. That gap is the real distance between you and them. It is not centuries. It is information. Consider your stomach next. Roman sanitation looked advanced. Marble latrines, sponges on sticks, sewers beneath the city. It should have worked. But bioarchaeologist Piers examined ancient latrine remains and found parasite levels barely changed after these systems arrived. The infrastructure looked civilized. The biology told a different story. One bad meal, and you're finished by day 2. Here is where it gets stranger. You might imagine surviving through toughness alone. But toughness was never the deciding factor. Information was. Romans lacked germ theory. Bioarchaeological work, including research associated with Kristina Killgrove, reveals childhoods marked by malnutrition and chronic infection, even among people who were not poor. Wealth bought comfort. It did not buy the knowledge your immune system depends on daily. Think about medicine itself. You would reach for a doctor the moment something felt wrong. Roman physicians existed, but their theory rested on 4 bodily fluids needing constant balance. Bloodletting was common. A fever you would treat with rest and fluids might be treated there in a way that weakened you further. You would not just be unprotected. You would be at risk from the very people trying to help. Now think about your fears. What frightens you today? A missed deadline. A Roman feared a bad harvest, invasion, or a cold turning fatal within days. Your fear response, wired into your brain right now, still runs on that same ancient software. It was never upgraded for emails. It was built for exactly the world you would be thrown into. Here is the twist that changes everything. You are not weaker than a Roman. You are not softer or less brave. You simply live inside a wall of accumulated knowledge that took 2,000 years to build. Germ theory, vaccination, refrigeration, clean water regulation. None of it came from muscle. All of it came from observation and slow correction, passed down through generations you never met. That is the real answer. It has nothing to do with laziness. It has everything to do with invisible infrastructure, the kind you cannot see because it was never meant to be seen. You do not think about the century of public health research standing between you and typhoid. You just live, protected by a system so complete it disappears into an ordinary Tuesday. And here is the mirror. Somewhere right now, you're annoyed by something small. A slow website, a cold coffee. Notice that feeling. It is only possible because your baseline for suffering has been raised so high by comfort that discomfort itself feels foreign. A Roman would not recognize your problems as problems. They would recognize your safety as something closer to magic. So when you turn that handle tomorrow and clean water fills your glass without a thought, pause 1 second longer than usual. That effortless motion carries the weight of thousands of years of human effort, none of it owed to your own strength. You would not survive 1 week as an ancient Roman, but a Roman, given everything you take for granted, would not recognize you as the same species. Maybe the real difference was never about people at all. Maybe it was only ever about what people managed to learn, and how quietly that knowledge saved you before you ever had to ask for it.